My name is Kim Meredith. I am the preschool services coordinator at the Davis County Public Library. And this is our Ready, Set, Play Parent-Child Workshop. The Parent-Child Workshop is in conjunction with the Family Place Libraries. And Family Place Libraries built on the knowledge that good health, early learning, parental involvement, and supportive communities play a crucial role in a young child's development. Growth and development. And the overall goal of Family Place Libraries is to develop and institutionalize a family-friendly environment by transforming libraries into community and centers for literacy and early childhood development, parent education and engagement, family support, and community information. And so there are several core components of Family Place. One of them is being trained staff, and we had 6 staff members travel to get the specific Family Place Libraries training last year. We've added a parenting collection in the children's area. The collection is one of the core components. Collaborations and partnerships. This week, I will be the presenter. Starting next week, we will have different community experts come in and give little presentations, be available to ask questions, basically be resources for families. Outreach is another component. We do regular outreach already. We are exploring ways to expand that outreach to children 0 to 3. The Parent-Child Workshop is one of the core components. Normally, what we would do is we would sign people up. We would open up our programming room. We would have toys everywhere. We would have an exploration station set up. And we would have a community expert each week available to come in and basically the children would play with whatever they wanted. It's child-led play, and that's the focus of the program. It's letting your child lead you to what they want to play with and the way they want to play with toys. Because the way they want to play with toys isn't necessarily the way that the toys seem like they're meant to be played with. Another component is specially designed spaces, which we are working on in the children's area. This includes things like board books, puzzles, child or age appropriate toys, that kind of thing. And then additional programs for babies and toddlers. We tried doing this with our Baby and Me book club. We've only been able to have one of those because of COVID, but hopefully after all of this is over with, we'll be able to add more of those things. So today we will be talking about early literacy. I am the early literacy expert. It sounds funny saying that, but early literacy is just everything that your child knows about reading and writing before they learn to read and write. So there are 6 early literacy skills. These include print motivation, which is just liking to read, being interested in and enjoying books. Print awareness is noticing print is everywhere, learning how to hold books. So when your baby carries around or your toddler carries around board books and stuff, just learning how to hold them the correct way, learning how to turn the pages, and knowing how to follow the written word on the page, knowing that the books turn from left to right, or I'm sorry, right to left, and that kind of thing. Letter knowledge is self-explanatory. It's just knowing what letters are, knowing that letters are different from each other, knowing that letters work together to make words. These are things that they all learn before they get ready to read. Vocabulary is another one of those, and that's just knowing all kinds of words. And vocabulary for babies and toddlers is a lot different than vocabulary for older people, because when you don't have any vocabulary, when you're just learning words, everything is vocabulary. You know, that's why we sing songs like head, shoulders, knees, and toes. We're teaching children the names of body parts, and that is vocabulary. Another one is phonological awareness, and that is hearing the smaller sounds in words. Singing is a good way to learn phonological awareness because when you sing, you elongate the sounds in words, and it makes it easier for children to hear all the smaller sounds that are in the words. And narrative skills, and this is just describing things and events, telling stories, knowing that there is a beginning and a middle and an end to a story, making predictions, trying to figure out what's going to happen next. And to help us achieve these 6 early literacy skills, there are 5 early literacy practices and that help us learn these skills. And these are really simple. These are reading, writing, singing, talking, and playing. And these are things that we do with our children all the time. Children who are exposed to books will hear 30 million more words than their peers by the age of 4. So that's one of the reasons why reading is so important. We are expanding those vocabularies. Books expose children to 30.9 more rare words than per 100,000 words or for 1,000 words read. So 30.9 rare words per 1,000 words read. So if you read 2,000 words, then they're being exposed to over 60,000 rare words in that. The second one is writing. This includes drawing, knowing how to hold a pencil. You can help with narrative skills with that because when they draw a picture, you might ask questions. What are you drawing? What are they doing? What do you think is going to happen to this drawing after? Of course, I've talked about singing. It helps you hear the smaller sounds in words, but it does a lot of other things too. Talking, just having a conversation with your child. When you go to the grocery store, talking about the things that you're getting. When you get up in the morning and you're going through your daily routine, just talking about what you're doing every step of the way helps your child learn vocabulary. It helps your child learn narrative skills, phonological awareness, all of those things. And playing. When children are playing, they learn new vocabulary. They learn, if they're playing with shapes or letters, they're learning letter knowledge. When they are talking about what they're doing, and when we are talking about what they're doing with them, they're helping to learn narrative skills. So these are all very important things. Oh, I seem to have forgotten my book. Oh, well, I was going to read a story today to kind of show you how you can share a book with your toddler. At this age and stage, reading with your child is mainly about having fun with books and having fun with books and spending time together, modeling a love of books, and really mainly about just like spending that time together and making it special time together. It's really important to create a daily routine to read with your child, and bedtime is a really good time for that because we're just settling down. Everything's quieting down. Everything's getting calm, and calm is the best time to read. Pay attention to your child when you're reading. If they are not into it, or they just are not paying attention, or they just are ready to move on, then that's okay. You do not have to finish a book. You do not have to read the whole story. So that's an important thing to remember. We don't want to force them to be involved in that because that might make them not like reading as much. A good way to read is to sit with your child in your lap or beside you so that they can see the book that you're holding and also see your face. Because when you're reading, you want to show excitement and you want to convey emotions. and they should be able to hear those emotions in your voice, and they should be able to see it on your face. Help your child pick out the book. Let them pick out what they want to read. Shorter books work better for toddlers, younger children, babies. But as they get older, they can start reading longer books and longer stories. Young children often enjoy books with good rhyme and rhythm and repetition. Oh, thank you, Mr. Ryan. Mr. Ryan's helping me out. I forgot my book today. Silly me. I thought I was all prepared, but that happens. Young children often enjoy books with good rhythm and rhyme and repetition. And actually, the book that we have today has a lot of repetition, so that'll be a good thing. Toddlers also enjoy books with animal sounds, books about a favorite topic, about playtime, books with pictures of other toddlers. So today we are going to read this story about Pete the cat. And Pete the cat loves his white shoes. Pete the cat, I love my white shoes. And the story is by Eric Litwin, and the art is by James Dean. And James Dean, he created Pete the cat. And when you're reading to your child, it's important to point out the author and the title of the story, so that that's just another way that they learn print awareness by pointing to the letters, and learning basically how books work. So as I'm reading this story, I'm going to give you some tips, some things that you can do and how you can act with your children. This is Pete the cat. I love my white shoes. Oh, there's Pete the cat there. Pete the cat was walking down the street in his brand new white shoes. Pete loved his white shoes so much that he sang this song. Are you ready for it? I love my white shoes. I love my white shoes. I love my white shoes. Oh no! What do you think happened to Pete the cat? What happened? Oh, right. Pete stepped in a large pile of strawberries. What color did it turn his shoes? Do you know what color it turned his shoes? That's right. It turned his shoes red. R-E-D, red. Now, when you're reading to your child and you're asking, or even when you're not reading to your child and you're asking questions, you want to allow at least 5 or 6 seconds for your child to answer. And when you're sitting there, it seems like a very long time. But the baby's brains have a lot more connections than the adult brains. By the time we're adults, we have cut a lot of those connections out. And so we're able to process things a lot quicker than children. Children have to go through a lot of different connections to figure it out. So we want to make sure that we give them that time and not answer for them. So give them a little bit more time than you think to let them answer those questions. So did Pete cry? Goodness, no. He kept walking along and singing his song. Everything is cool, he says. I love my red shoes. I love my red shoes. I love my red shoes. Oh no! Pete stepped in a large pile of blueberries. What color did it turn his shoes this time? You know? Color are his shoes. That's right, they're blue. B-L-U-E, blue. You'll notice that I'm pointing to the letters. This is a way to help them learn letter knowledge, and also to understand that what is on the page is what I'm saying out loud. So these things have meaning. These letters have meaning. Did Pete cry? Goodness, no. He kept walking along and singing his song. Awesome. I love my blue shoes. I love my blue shoes. I love my blue shoes. Oh, what is Pete doing in this picture? Can you see Pete in this picture? What is he doing? That's right, he's holding an umbrella for his friends so they don't get wet. Oh no! Pete stepped in a large puddle of mud. Oh, all of that rain made it really muddy. What color did it turn his shoes? Can you tell? Know what color that is? Brown. B-R-O-W-N. Brown. Did Pete cry? Goodness, no. He kept walking along and singing his song. He's thinking there. It's groovy. I love my brown shoes. I love my brown shoes. I love my brown shoes. Oh no! Look at what Pete did this time. Pete stepped in a large bucket of water, and all of the brown and all of the blue and all of the red washed away. What color were his shoes again? Remember what color he started with? That's right, they're white, W-H-I-T-E, but now they're wet. Oh, did Pete cry? Goodness, no. He kept walking along and singing his song. Rock and roll. I love my wet shoes. I love my wet shoes. I love my wet shoes. The moral of Pete's story is, no matter what you step in, keep walking along and singing your song because it's all good. The end. Good job. That was Pete the cat. So it's really easy. It's really, really easy to include these early literacy skills and practices when you are just interacting with your children. It's nothing, it doesn't have to be like school. It doesn't have to be a formal thing. It's just little things that you can do, like, asking questions and pointing out things. So that's just a good thing to remember. Now today, we have a featured toy, and this is the toy that you guys are going to be receiving after the program today. Today's featured toy is Balls, Blocks, and Buddies. And I'm going to show you different ways that you can play with these toys and different ways that children play with toys so that, when, normally when we think of playing with blocks, we think of stacking, right? Building things. That's how we think of playing with blocks. It's just by stacking them up and making things. But babies and toddlers play with toys a little bit differently. And while they are playing with these toys, they are learning different things. Block play stimulates learning in all dimensions of development. It stimulates intellectual, physical, social, emotional, and language development. It's one of the first introductions into math skills, early math skills. You can count your blocks. And actually, these blocks, I don't think you can see, have numbers on them. This is a 1. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 different blocks. Sorting into different ways. The blocks that I have and the blocks in our featured toy today are all squares. So you can't really sort by shape, but you can kind of sort by color because these are both kind of bluish or greenish blocks. These are both kind of greenish blocks. We have some kind of reddish blocks. And we have some kind of neutral colored blocks. So you can sort that way. And sequencing, and this would be doing, maybe we're doing a neutral block and a red block and a green block and a blue block. So we're sequencing that way. And these are things that they'll start doing when they get a little bit older. maybe around 3 or 4. But when toddlers are playing with blocks, they might do things like chewing on them. Chewing is one of the most basic ways that they play with blocks. And when they are doing this, they are receiving that sensory information, because babies and toddlers are always looking for sensory information. They're wanting to hear it. So they might bang the blocks together. That's a way that they get that sensory information. When they're chewing on it, they're feeling all little bumps and grooves. These actually have some little dots on them that tell how many. They're kind of like dice. They have one side that's kind of rough, and one side has an animal, or two sides have animals on it. So they're taking in that sensory information when they are chewing on them, or they're holding them, or they're feeling of them. They might explore the bright colors. So they might be drawn to one color over another color. Like I said, they might bang them together. One thing that I know that children really like to do is they like to take a bowl or a bucket, and they like to put all of their toys in it, and then they like to dump it out. And so they are learning about the sounds that these toys make. I know if you have toy buckets, that's something I hear that sound a lot, of the toy bucket being poured out. Around 18 months is when babies start, or toddlers start, actually stacking their blocks. And they just start stacking 2. As they get older, they'll add more blocks to it, 3 and 4 and 5. And then also they really like knocking them down. That's the fun part. And when they're doing this, they're learning cause and effect. So they're learning that if they put them on top of each other and then they hit them, they're all going to fall. And they also might like to just line them up and make some kind of a bin or a pin or a wall or something like that with their blocks, laying them in a line. So they're learning new vocabulary when they're doing this. They're learning fill and dump when they're putting them in buckets. And we talk about them filling it up and dumping it. Pick up. So when we're cleaning up, or when they're picking something up off the floor. Stacking. We might say they're balancing. This is tall, and this one is short. So these are all ways that children play with blocks. The other thing in this toy is balls. We have some balls. And balls improve motor skills and hand-eye coordination, and timing. So toddlers might like to roll the balls. And when they're rolling the balls to somebody else, like if I'm rolling a ball with my baby, they're learning how to take turns. We can also do throwing. Of course, they learn to throw pretty quickly, and they really like to see what happens when they throw things, and they like to see us pick them up. So they're also learning cause and effect there. They're learning words like throw and bounce, toss, kick. And these are also things that they will learn how to do. They can learn large motor skills with balls and blocks and anything, just by like throwing and running after them. Putting them in wagons and pulling them around will help them with their large motor skills. The last thing in our toy is, let's see, our little animal toys. And these are perfect for counting or sorting, playing hide and seek with. We can hide them and try to help, try to let our toddler figure out where they are, find them. We can do pretend play. This is little monkey, and this is little elephant. And monkey and elephant are friends, and they like to play together. So it encourages hand-eye coordination, color recognition. So what color is elephant? What color is elephant? That's right, elephant is blue. interest in the natural world. So this is a bird, and you might see birds outside. So when we go outside, we can look for birds in the sky. So they're showing interest in the outside world and pretend play. Like I said, all these animals are playing together. Look, they're best friends. So those are the toys. And of course, there are millions of other ways that they can play with these toys. These are just some of the suggestions. So every week we'll have an exploration station, and exploration station, you can do this at home. It's very simple. It's very easy. You can do these with lots of different things. A lot of times they're messy, so you might want to do them outside or do them, put down some kind of towel or something. You just provide them the materials to create and explore and use open-ended materials. So there's no final outcome. It's just letting them play. And today's exploration station, we are going to create a toy wash station. And so I have two different bowls. This is how easy it is to make at home. I have two different bowls here. One of them has soapy water and one of them has clean water. And you can use, your child's bath soap if you think they might have allergy issues. I just use regular soap or dish soap. And then you're going to give them, you can give them all of these things. You can give them one of these things. You can give them like a little scrub brush. You can give them a little sponge. Give them a little toothbrush. You can give them a washcloth. If you don't have any of these other things available, you can just give them a washcloth. And then you don't have to have any specific type of toy. This is actually a good thing. You can actually use the toys that we got today, that you're going to get today to play with this. And these are just, put their toys. We don't want to put anything that might, mess up or tear up in here. But these are rubber, so they'll be fine, or plastic. So you just put our toys in there. We'll put a little monkey in there, a little elephant. You just put them in the soapy water, and you just let your child give them a bath. Oh, elephant's getting all clean. Elephant is getting so clean. And then once elephant gets clean, I'm going to put them in the clean water. We've washed elephant. Now we can have towels available, and there's going to be a lot of splashing probably going on. But they're getting to feel the textures of the different things that they use to clean the toys. You can use a toothbrush. We'll use a toothbrush to clean Mr. Monkey. Another way that you can expand on this is that you can get the animals actually dirty. My animals are clean, but you can get the animals dirty and let them clean it off. So they're in there. And this is just a simple way to allow your child to learn at home. They're getting all of the sensory. The water is kind of cold. It's really wet. And if you read something like Pete the Cat, you can tie it back to Pete the Cat's shoes being wet. The toothbrush is bristly, and this is kind of rough. So these are teaching vocabulary words also. And it's a good way to let your child, good, easy way to let your child learn things, new things. So, we're coming to the end of our program. I haven't kept you for too long, only about 30 minutes. We are going to, I'm going to tell you today, after the program, you're welcome to come in and pick up your balls, blocks, and buddies toy, and you'll also get a bag that has a couple of books in it. It has some information about early literacy and information about resources and where to find things. um, where you can ask questions, that kind of thing. Did we have any questions today about anything that I've gone over? Any questions about our activity today or what we've talked about? I'm almost always here. So if you have any early literacy questions, you can always ask me. You can ask Mr. Ryan. Mr. Ryan knows basically the same thing that I know. So he's an early literacy expert also. Um, so you can ask these questions. You can come and get these toys after each class. So you do not have to wait. So whenever you come in, you can make a special trip or you can wait until you come in and just let the person in the children's room know that you're here to pick up your toy for Ready, Set, Play. And they will get that for you. Registration is open for the next session. So if you're interested in signing up for that, you can do that anytime. Or if you let us know now, we can go ahead and get you signed up. Next week will be about speech, hearing, and language development. We have two ladies from Simply Therapy that will be doing a short presentation and going over the toys, or I will be going over the toys and the exploration station. They're really nice. They helped me out before. They really know. They really know their stuff. So before, well, let's see, I lost my baby here. I do want to remind everyone, if you've not signed up for 1,000 books before kindergarten, I encourage you to do so. It's an easy way to get free books for your child if you're going to be reading them already. Especially, you might as well count them. Every book that you read counts every time that you read it. Repetition is very important when reading to children. And we're doing anything with children, really. They learn through repetition and they really enjoy it. So when you're reading things like Pete the Cat, the book is very repetitive. You'll notice you're repeating the same things over and over again. When you read the book over and over again, you're really getting that repetition. And there will come a time when your child is actually, they know the words to the book. They know what's coming next. They know where it's going. And then they will get to where they start recognizing some of the words, especially like with the colors, red and white and blue and that kind of thing. Before we leave today, let's see. Oh yeah, we can definitely get you that information about how to sign up, and we can get you signed up for that. Absolutely. Yeah, I think I've put in this bag, you will get the information about how to sign up for 1,000 books before kindergarten. And you can just, when you come in to pick up your stuff, you can stop by the desk and we can get you signed up. When you sign up, you'll get a bag with a book in it and more information about the program. And basically, for every 100 books you read to your child, they will get a small little toy prize, that kind of thing. For every 250 books, they get a free book. And then at the end, once they complete it and read their 5,000 books, or 5,000, read their 1,000 books, we usually have some kind of a graduation ceremony. This year, because of COVID, we weren't able to do that. But we did, they still got something where they were able to get a trophy and that kind of thing. So it's pretty fun. Any other questions? Okay, I'm gonna do one more thing, and if you have any more questions, we'll get it after, okay? I'm gonna use my little friend here today. He's gonna help me out. We're gonna learn a song that we can sing with our babies or toddlers, little ones. It's a lot of fun. It helps with bonding. You know, whenever you're reading or you're sitting and singing songs together, it's fun, you know, to love on them and to be there with them and spend time with them. So I guess it's kind of a finger play we're going to do is round and round the garden. I usually sometimes will say round and round the circle, round and round the circle, round and round the garden. And you're just going to take your baby, your toddler, and you can do it on their hand. I always do it on their bellies because it's a lot of fun doing around their little belly buttons. We go round and round the garden goes the teddy bear. One step, two step, tickle under there. And they are always surprised at the tickle. And they want to do it over and over again, so we'll do it again. Round and round the garden goes the teddy bear. One step, two step, tickle under there. All right. Thank you guys for showing up today and participating in our program. Like I said, after this, you're welcome to come in and pick up your toys and your bag of books and information. If you have any questions about early literacy, like I said, or any questions about the library in general, please ask us, and we'll be glad to get that information for you. And if Mr. Ryan's going to sign you both up for the next week, and I look forward to seeing you then. And I'll see you next time. I hope you have a good day. Bye-bye.